If you only check your sun sign and transits, you're missing the timing tool that explains everything you've been going through. It's called the progressed moon, and it's basically the emotional weather forecast for your soul. It tells you exactly what chapter you're in, what you're learning, what's shifting, and why your life feels the way it does right now. This week's episode is a full breakdown: signs, houses, timing, real life examples, so you can finally understand your emotional season. If you love astrology or you just want your life to make sense, don't skip this one. Welcome to the Everything Embodiment Podcast, where I will help you find peace, understanding, and love all within your human body, enhancing your mind-body connection through the exploration of vast ideas, concepts, and modalities, discussions all meant to propel you along your own unique spiritual journey. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Welcome back to another episode of the Everything Embodiment Podcast. I'm your host, Amber Miller. Today we're diving into a tool that is so easy to access and so wildly accurate that once you learn it, you'll never not check it again. We are talking about your progressed moon. If you've ever wondered why your emotional landscape suddenly shifts, why your priorities change, why your energy comes back online out of nowhere, or why you're in a completely different internal season than you were a year ago, this is it. You can make your own progress chart on astro.com. You can use a progress moon calculator, or if you're like me, pull it up in Astro Gold with 2 clicks. So why the progress moon matters? Your natal moon is your emotional blueprint, who you are inside at your core. Your progress moon is who you're becoming emotionally. It shifts every 2.5 years, and each shift makes a brand new internal chapter. New priorities, new lessons, new energy, new you. It's like the universe tapping you on the shoulder saying, okay, new season, let's begin. So how it works in the easiest terms. Astrology uses something called secondary progressions to map inner development. So here's the rule. Stay with me. 1 day after birth equals 1 year of life. So what the moon was doing 10 days after you were born is you around age 10. What the moon was doing 28 days after you were born, that's you around age 28. Because the moon moves quickly, it becomes the most noticeable part of your progress chart, which is why astrologers love using it for timing. So what exactly does the progress moon show you? It explains your emotional priorities right now, your energy levels, what you're craving or pulling away from, why relationships suddenly feel different, why certain things no longer work, what chapter of life you've just entered, what you need to feel safe and grounded, the emotional lens you're viewing life through. This is why sometimes you wake up and think, I'm done with this. I want something new. I feel different, but I can't explain why. I need rest. I'm ready to move. Half the time, that's literally your progress moon shifting chapters. The moon stays in each sign for about 2.5 years and moves 1 degree per month. So you feel the transition strongest when you're at 27 to 29 degrees. That's the chapter ending. Or 0 to 3 degrees, that's newborn energy. And then the middle degrees, that's full expression of the lesson. So think of it as learning a new language. At 0 degrees, you're learning basic words. 15 degrees, you're fluent. At 28 degrees, you're ready for what's next. Each moon shift feels like a new pair of emotional glasses. Every time your progressed moon enters a new sign, life looks different. The colors change, the priorities change, your pace changes, your emotional patterns change. You're not becoming someone else, you're becoming the next version of yourself. When you stop fighting the season you're in, life makes so much more sense. So people really love progressed charts because they're literal. When people look back, they always say, that was exactly when everything changed. That's when I got married. That's when the burnout hit. That's when the spiritual awakening happened. That's when I moved. It's emotional timing, it's rhythm, it's clarity, it's context. It describes the season in your life, and the universe cycles you through different seasons of growth, integration, expansion, healing, creativity, and then rest every couple of years. So no season is wrong. You just have to understand the one that you're in. So now that we've covered what the progressed moon is and why it matters, let's move into the part that really brings this whole thing to life. the sign your progressed moon is in, because the sign is the emotional tone of your chapter. It's the mood, the vibe, the filter you're seeing life through for about 2.5 years. Each sign comes with gifts, the strengths you naturally lean into during the season, but it also comes with a shadow or the emotional patterns that might feel a little uncomfortable or unfamiliar. Some seasons feel energizing, others feel heavy. Some feel social and bright, while others feel private, introspective, or tender. None of this means you're off or doing anything wrong. It just means you're in a very specific emotional era with its own growth curve. So as I walk through all 12 signs, I want you to listen for the parts that feel empowering and the parts that feel like work, because both are part of the journey. Your sign will tell you what your heart is learning, what you're being invited into, and what emotional patterns are softening or even dissolving during this chapter of your life. So pull up your chart, find out what house it's in, and you will see what sign it's in. So starting with Aries. This is your I'm done with being stuck era. When your progressed moon moves into Aries, your soul hits the reset button. You get a burst of energy, motivation, and courage you haven't felt in a long time. You'll feel more impatient, more decisive, more willing to choose yourself. You're not meant to wait, overthink, or tiptoe during this cycle. Your body wants movement, your spirit wants a new beginning, your life wants momentum. Follow the spark. This is a fresh start chapter. So, like I said, everything has a light and shadow side. The light energy is going to be a renewed spark, courage returning, independence, motivation, clarity, action, fresh starts. You're ready to move forward and stop waiting for permission. And if you're on the shadow side of things, you're going to feel impatient, impulsivity, burnout, emotional reactivity. I have to do everything myself. Cutting ties too fast. The lesson here is to take bold steps, not self-destructive ones. Moving on to Taurus. Welcome to the slow, grounding, nourishing era. This cycle is all about stability, safety, pleasure, and rebuilding of your foundation. Your nervous system wants calm. Your money story wants healing. Your home wants comfort. Your life wants simplicity. Your pace will naturally slow down, not because you're unmotivated, but because your soul is anchoring itself again. Focus on what feels good, what feels safe, and what feels sustainable. The light side of things is going to be grounding, stability, sensuality, comfort, rebuilding, financial healing, slowing down. Your nervous system finally exhales. The shadow side is going to show up as stubbornness, resistance to change, emotional stagnation, clinging to what feels familiar even when it's not working. The lesson is stability does not equal staying stuck. Moving on to Gemini. Your curiosity wakes back up again. This is the social, chatty, idea-filled era. Expect more learning, writing, talking, thinking, planning, connecting. You're mentally sparking again. You want to expand your mind and explore new perspectives. This is also the ask questions, try new things, follow your fascinations chapter. Lean into conversation, lean into community, and lean into your voice. Your mind is your superpower right now. The light side of things is going to show up as curiosity, learning, community, communication, creativity, mental activation. Your mind is lighting back up. Shadow side is going to be overthinking, anxiety, distraction, scattered focus, talking instead of acting. The lesson, choose ideas that matter. Okay, moving on to Cancer. Your heart asks for softness. This is an emotional, nurturing, home and family focused era. You may feel more sensitive, more intuitive, more nostalgic, and more aware of your needs. You're healing old patterns and reconnecting with your inner child. This is a cocoon chapter, a time to nest, retreat, feel, and allow old emotions to rise and clear. Honor your sensitivity. Your body is telling you exactly what it needs. The light side is going to be nurturing, intuition, emotional healing, home, family, bonding, inner child repair. Your heart becomes center stage. And the shadow side is going to show up as moodiness, clinging to the past, emotional overwhelm, withdrawal, hypersensitivity. The lesson is to feel without drowning. Moving on to Leo, your confidence comes back online. This is your sparkle era, the chapter where you remember who you are. You crave joy, creativity, play, visibility, passion, and self-expression. You want to be seen. You want to create. You want to shine. This is not a quiet cycle, it's a reclaiming cycle. Let yourself have fun again. Make the art, own the spotlight, follow the inspiration. Light side is going to show up as confidence, creativity, joy, visibility, romance, self-expression. Your sparkle returns. Shadow side is going to show up as validation seeking, ego wounds, drama, emotional intensity, craving attention for safety. The lesson here is to shine from the heart, not fear. Virgo, time to get your life together, but in a loving way. This is the season of refinement, routines, health, work, systems, self-care, clarity, and improvement. You'll naturally want to clean things up, your habits, your boundaries, your schedule, your space, your body. This is a chapter for small changes with big impact. No perfection required, just presence. Your life becomes easier when everything has a place. Light side is going to show up as organization, healing routines, clarity, discipline, refinement, and health consciousness. You start improving everything softly. Shadow side, that notorious Virgo perfectionism, self-criticism, overworking, worrying, nitpicking yourself or others. The lesson here is that progress is greater than perfection. Libra, your relationships take center stage. This season is all about connection, love, harmony, collaboration, and balance. You'll rethink what partnership means to you, romantically, socially, and spiritually. You're craving beauty, softness, and emotional reciprocity. You want peace instead of chaos. You want connection instead of conflict. Your heart is learning how to choose relationships that feel like home. The light side is going to show up as harmony, partnership, love, beauty, connection, compromise, and grace. Relationships will deepen. Shadow side is going to show up as people-pleasing, indecision, avoiding conflict, losing yourself to keep the peace. The lesson here is balance doesn't require self-abandonment. Scorpio, this is your shadow work, truth-seeking transformation era. It's deep, it's intense, it's powerful. You'll feel a pull toward honesty, healing, intimacy, intuition, boundaries, trauma work, and the emotional rebirth. Things that were tolerable before are suddenly not tolerable at all. You're shedding, you're confronting, you're alchemizing. This chapter is about becoming the most authentic version of yourself. Light side is going to show up as transformation, truth, depth, intimacy, emotional rebirth, intuition, power reclamation. This is shadow alchemy. The shadow side is going to show up as intensity, fear, control, obsessing, jealousy, emotional shutdown, all or nothing. The lesson here is heal, don't self-destruct. Sagittarius, your spirit wants freedom and expansion again. This is the bigger picture chapter: optimism, travel, study, exploration, new beliefs, and a renewed sense of hope. You may feel restless, inspired, hungry for meaning, or ready to shake up your routine. This is not small life cycle. This is a grow beyond your old edges cycle. Follow what excites you. Your soul is stretching. The light side is going to show up as expansion, optimism, freedom, travel, learning, adventure, renewed faith. Life feels bigger again. Shadow side is going to show up as avoidance, escapism, impulsive decisions, restlessness, overpromising. The lesson here is grow without running away. Capricorn, you get serious, but in a good way. This is your long-term vision, responsibility, career structure, and self-discipline era. You may feel more focused, more practical, and more aware of your goals. Emotionally, you mature in huge ways during this cycle. You build, you commit, you take yourself seriously. This is the chapter where you put down roots and build something that lasts. The light side, discipline, ambition, structure, maturity, long-term vision, and leadership. You get serious about your future. Shadow side, emotional suppression, pressure, overworking, loneliness, feeling disconnected. The lesson here is let yourself feel while you build. Progressed moon in Aquarius, your authenticity wakes up. This is your reinvention era. Clarity, detachment, innovation, bold choices, new friendships, and redefining who you are. You stop caring what people think, you stop performing, you stop shrinking. Emotionally, this cycle encourages you to liberate yourself from patterns that don't fit you anymore. It's this is who I actually am. It's a breath of fresh air. So for the light side, that's going to show up as authenticity, new friendships, reinvention, clarity, innovation, objectivity. You finally detach from old versions of yourself. Shadow side is going to show up as emotional numbness, isolation, detachment, rebelliousness, feeling different. The lesson here is freedom doesn't mean disconnecting. And last, Pisces. Your intuition becomes the loudest voice in the room. This is your spiritual, dreamy, creative, emotional, dissolving, healing era. You'll feel more sensitive, more inward, more psychic, and more connected to the unseen. This is the cycle of surrender, letting go, softness, rest, imagination, and spiritual renewal. You're finishing an emotional loop, so everything feels more vivid, more tender, more soulful. Let yourself float a little. It's not laziness, it's integration. Light is going to show up as creativity, intuition, spirituality, compassion, flow, surrender, deep healing. You soften into your soul. Shadow is going to show up as fatigue, confusion, escapism, avoidance, emotional dissolving, blurred boundaries. And the lesson here is rest without disappearing. So now that you know the emotional tone of your progressed moon sign, the next layer is the house. So this is where everything clicks. If the sign is the how, the house is the where. It shows you the exact area of life this emotional work is happening. And just like the signs, every house has its bright spots and its shadow invitations. Some houses highlight relationships, creativity, or career growth. Others pull you inward into healing, endings, rest, identity work, or family patterns. Sometimes the house feels exciting and expansive. Sometimes it feels confronting or tender. But every single house teaches you something essential. So as we walk through the 12 houses, notice which areas of life are being activated for you. So where life feels alive, where it feels challenging, and where you feel yourself growing the most. When you blend the sign with your house, you get the full picture of your emotional season, the gifts, the challenges, and the exact part of your life being reshaped right now. So grab your houses and we'll start with the first house. So first house is identity and self-reset. This is your who am I becoming chapter. When your progressed moon is in the first house, everything feels new. You're rediscovering yourself, rewriting your identity, shifting your appearance, your confidence, your desires. You feel more self-aware and motivated to make changes. This is a personal rebirth. This is the beginning of a new cycle. You're becoming someone new. Let yourself. Light side is going to show up as new beginnings, self-discovery, confidence, fresh identity, and shadow is going to be identity confusion, impulsive choices, and insecurity. Second house, money, worth, and stability. This is your rebuilding yourself from the inside out chapter. Your relationship with money, security, self-worth, and values become the focus. You'll want financial stability, emotional grounding, and to feel more secure in who you are. This is when you heal scarcity, clean up spending habits, reclaim your worthiness. Your soul is learning, I deserve to feel safe. So light side, financial rebuilding, self-worth healing, and stability. Shadow side, fear around money, clinging, scarcity patterns. Third house, communication, curiosity, and connection. This is your speak up and reconnect chapter. You are drawn to learning, writing, teaching, and talking through your experience. You may reconnect with siblings, neighbors, or your local community. Your mind is sharper, ideas flow. You are more social, more curious, and more mentally active. This is the season to express yourself, share your voice, and follow your fascinations. Light side's going to show up as curiosity, learning, connection, speaking up. Shadow is going to show up as anxiety, overthinking, gossip, scattered focus. Fourth house, home, roots, and emotional healing. This is your heart and home chapter. You may crave quiet, rest, nesting, or networking your home environment. Family themes rise to the surface, old emotional patterns, childhood wounds, lineage healing, or reconnecting with loved ones. This is a deeply emotional cycle. It's about safety, belonging, and healing your foundation. You're coming home to yourself. Light side is going to show up as emotional healing, home nesting, family connection. Shadow will show up as triggers from the past, family tension, and retreating too far inward. Fifth house, joy, creativity, self-expression. This is your spark returns chapter. Your inner child wakes back up. You want joy, fun, passion, romance, creativity, and play. You're drawn to hobbies, pleasure, dating, and creative self-expression. Kids may be a focus, your own or others. This is not the time to shrink or hide. It is time to shine, have fun, and reconnect with what lights you up. Light side is going to be fun, romance, passion, artistic expression. Shadow side is going to show up as ego wounds, drama cycles, creativity blocks. 6th house, routines, health, and real life alignment. This is your get your life in order chapter. Your health becomes a priority. You'll want better routines, better boundaries, better habits, better systems. You may update your work life, reorganize your home, or clean up your daily rhythm. This is the season of improvement, not perfection. Small changes now create huge long-term shifts. Light side is going to be better routines, healing habits, and grounding. Shadow is going to be burnout, perfectionism, and overworking. 7th house, relationships, love, and soul contracts. This is your partnership chapter. You'll see massive shifts in your relationships, romantic, business, and platonic. You become aware of what you need, what you won't tolerate, what feels nourishing, and what's no longer aligned. People enter and people exit. Relationships mirror your growth. This is about connection, reciprocity, and learning how to love better. Light side is going to show up as healthy partnership, intimacy, and connection. Shadow side is going to show up as codependency, conflict avoidance, and relationship endings. And to make this one personal, I actually looked up some life events and how they correlated to my progressed moon. And I actually got married when my progressed moon was in the 7th house. So moving on to the 8th house. Transformation, depth, and shadow work. This is your emotional alchemy chapter. It's deep, it's powerful, it's intense. You're drawn into inner healing, money wounds, intimacy work, boundaries, trauma healing, and emotional truth. You shed old identities. You confront what you've avoided. This is not a surface season, it's a rebirth season. You emerge from this lighter, clearer, and more honest with yourself. Light side is going to be deep healing, empowerment, shadow integration, and shadow side is going to be fear, control issues, emotional intensity, and money wounds. 9th house, expansion, faith, and big life vision. This is your open your world chapter. You crave something bigger, travel, spirituality, higher learning, new beliefs, new experiences. Your soul wants meaning. Your intuition pushes you out of your comfort zone. This is the season of inspiration, purpose, and saying yes to life again. Your worldview expands, and so do you. So we have travel, faith, inspiration, education. Shadow is going to be avoidance, chaos, escapism into the name of freedom. 10th house is going to be career, purpose, visibility. This is your level up chapter. Your career, public identity, and long-term goals take the spotlight. You're thinking about legacy, leadership, visibility, and what you truly want to build. You may experience career breakthroughs, shifts, promotions, or a complete pivot. Your soul is saying, step into your purpose, own your power. Light side is going to be career breakthroughs, leadership, public alignment, and shadow side is going to be pressure, burnout, fear of failure, or perfectionism. 11th house, community, friendship, and your future self. This is your new connections, new future chapter. You are drawn toward friendships, collaborations, groups, community, and long-term dreams. Your life becomes bigger and more interconnected. You're more social, more visionary, and more future focused. This is also the alignment of the soul tribe season. The right people show up. Your life starts branching outward. Light side is going to show up as friendships, community, vision, and networking. Shadow is going to be outgrowing people, loneliness, and feeling misunderstood. And finally, 12th house, rest, release, and spiritual renewal. This is your deep spiritual integration chapter. Things slow down. You need more rest, space, solitude, and reflection. Old identities dissolve. Subconscious blocks rise to the surface. Your intuition becomes louder than your logic. This is a cocoon phase, ending a long cycle. You are shedding what no longer belongs in your next chapter. Honor your need to retreat, dream, soften. You're preparing for a massive rebirth. Light side is going to be spiritual healing, rest, release, intuition, awakening. And shadow side is going to be isolation, confusion, old patterns resurfacing, and emotional exhaustion. All right, my loves, that is your deep dive into the progressed moon. It's one of my favorite tools for understanding why life feels like it does and what emotional season you're in right now. I hope this helped you connect some dots, feel more grounded in your timing, and maybe even give you a little compassion for whatever you're moving through. And if you enjoyed this, if learning these layers of astrology lights you up or helps you understand yourself better, I want to invite you into something bigger. Inside my embodiment, energy, and intuition training, we spend 3 of the 8 modules on self-discovery. We go into your personal astrology, your human design, your energy patterns, all using professional grade charts, not the fluffy stuff. You get a deep look into what makes you you, what your gifts are, and how you work with your natural rhythm instead of against it. We take it even further. We bring in energy healing, intuition development, mediumship foundations, and the Akashic records. It's a full mind, body, spirit training for the person who wants to understand themselves and learn how to support others too. It is still in beta, so right now it's only $222, which honestly is wild for how big the vision is for this program. I'm refining it, expanding it, and making it better every round. So if you feel the pull, this is the time to jump in while it's still at that discounted price. You can check out the link in the show notes, and if you're not sure if it's for you, just DM or email me. I will always tell you honestly. All right, breathe, integrate, go out, look up your progressed moon. You deserve to understand the season you're in. I love you all, and I will see you in the next episode.